What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your humble Daily Ward host. It's been a minute, folks. Let me get it together. I forgot what we called our live streaming show here. It is your humble host, back with another episode of the Daily Ward. I'm Timothy J. Ward, and we got a goodie today, folks. We have got a goodie. We have got a discussion topic. We need to talk about this. We need to break this down. I need to know what y'all think. Y'all gonna get my opinions, of course. But I need y'all's opinions as well. I put a post about this out yesterday, got a ton of responses. I think almost got like 100 comments, which is crazy for a post. Usually you put a post up, about 3 people will be like, maybe 20, but like 100 people, we got to talk about this. So, excited about this one. Come on in, get a little popcorns, get a little, whatever it is you eat, some chocolate cake, some grits. I don't know, whatever it is you eat. Isn't it funny? People always do that. Get your whatever, get a drink. We go talk. Like, why are you telling me what I got to get? If I want to get something, I'll get something. Okay, you can already tell it's going to be an interesting show today. But grab whatever you need. Just make sure your fingers aren't greasy so you can type into whatever device you're watching this on. I need your inputs. I already know the chat going to be popping today. Okay? Good to see y'all. I've had a wonderful day today. Hope you had a wonderful day. We are going to be talking today about Malcolm Gladwell and some comments he made on the Diary of a CEO podcast. And it's kind of been going around the internet. Someone actually shouted to Key himself. That's the username of someone here on YouTube. Actually sent me a super thanks and gave me this topic. So a double blessing when I checked my YouTube comments yesterday. Nice donation. And it was like, hey, look into this. I looked into the topic. I loved it. Malcolm Gladwell, who is a Canadian author and journalist. The name didn't ring a bell, but when I saw him, I was like, oh, yeah, I know this guy. He had some things to say about remote work, working from home. Had some things to say about remote work, working from home. And I got to say, I was a little, I don't know. I see why people are getting a little, aggy. It kind of poked me, a little bit. I kind of, that's why I immediately was like, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this because it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Ladies and gentlemen, I try to, not get too where I don't get triggered. A lot of people get triggered. I try not to get triggered, worked up. But sometimes some stuff I'm like, So we're gonna talk about this one. Kind of waiting till a few more people get in here because I want to read his comments. Now, if I was a professional, I would have the video queued up and we would just watch the video together. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, folks. I didn't feel like going through all of that because I would have had to go through StreamYard and I didn't feel like doing that, ladies and gentlemen. I will, however, read the comments we're going to be talking about. There's a link in the description box below to like a 45-second clip that I did take the time to clip up from the original video. And it will take you also to the original video if you want to watch that. But I will read it here in a minute. When we break like 100 people, I'll get started. Because I usually like to wait till there's a few people in here. About 100 people. That way people don't come in and be like, wait, I missed the beginning. So, we got just a few more people than we there. Real quick, I'm going to say, folks, I'm going to be in the chat a lot today. In the beginning, I'll be doing my spiel. If you got something you just have to add to the conversation, because maybe I didn't get to it otherwise, there is the super chat option. That's all I'm going to say about that anymore. We've hit 100 people. Let's read the comments by author Malcolm Gladwell that's got everybody up in a tizzy, okay, about remote work. He's on the podcast, and he talked about a lot of stuff. It's like an hour and a half episode. I watched a good portion of it. Here's the part that everybody's all worked up about. It says, it's not in your best interest to work at home. I know it's a hassle to come into the office, but if you're sitting in your pajamas in your bedroom, is that the work life you want to live? Don't you want to feel part of something? I'm really getting very frustrated with the inability of people in positions of leadership to explain this effectively to their employees. If we don't feel like we're part of something important, what's the point? If it's just the paycheck, then it's like, what have you reduced your life to? Those are the comments he made, got everybody in an uproar. A lot of people, this has been going around, so I think a lot of people have already heard it. And then he went on to discuss like he was pitching an ideal to a studio in LA, and he was going on these beautiful buildings, these beautiful grounds, corporate grounds, and like nobody was in the buildings. And apparently he had a problem with that. Who's the podcast he was on? What's the guy's name? Stephen Bartlett. Yes, Stephen Bartlett, who hosts the podcast. He had similar things to say. It was kind of a real bro fest up there about them getting people to work from home, to stop working from home. However, I will say to Stephen Bartlett's credit, he did say that there should be some more freedom. So I'll give him that. Yes, he wanted people to like go back to the offices, but he thought there should be more freedom in when you worked, things of that nature. We're going to jump right into this. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts, what immediately, hit me. And I want to say I try to always be objective and see both sides of any issue. You're rarely, if ever, going to see me just totally be like, I see this side and can't even try to understand what they're thinking about over here. So I see, I'm trying to look at this objectively. However, I will say though, the part that got me is it seemed like Mr. Gladwell was almost implying that the only way you could feel like you were a part of something was at work, right? His words, not mine. Don't you want to feel like you're part of something? And as someone who has always been saying for the longest that our work-life balances are off, I don't even believe in work-life balance. It's just life. Work is a small part of it. I'm like, we have so many other things going on in life where we can feel a part of something, where we can feel part of a team. In fact, I would argue that a lot of the people who want to work from home, who want to work remotely, do it so they can stay home with their family, which is the most important team in their life. That was my issue. It was almost like he was saying that like the only way your life kind of has meaning and is if you're at work and part of the team there. I'm like, what about your friends? What about your family? Your husband, your wife, your partner, your kids? Like all these other aspects, your parents, you know what I mean? Your friends, all these other aspects of our lives, the people you meet when you go out and do your hobbies or whatever, your passions. There's all these other areas of our lives where we can be a part of something that mean even more than like work. That's where I was kind of like, really? Yes, I want my life to mean something. Yes, I want to be part of something. And I find that with my friends. I find that with my family. Like, now, I'll be the first, and people who know me know that, like, I've found that at work before. I'm not going to say you can't find that at work. Some of the jobs I've worked at that I stayed the longest, I stayed because of my coworkers. I stayed because of the team. So that is something that can happen. However, the reason why most people want to work remotely and the reason why most people want to work from home is because the workplace was toxic. The reason why I think a majority of people decided like I'd rather stay at home and work at the house is because the workplace wasn't giving that. Like we can't sit up here and act like all our jobs are wonderful, great places. And if we just all went back to the office, it'd be roses and rainbows and you'd be part of this wonderful team and you love your life. That's what it sounded like he's saying. I'm like, no, we're just going to gloss over all the reasons why people wanted to go home. It wasn't just the pandemic. The pandemic gave us the opportunity to do it. If you'd ask people in 2019, hey, would you rather work from home? People would say yes. The people who don't want to work from home are back at the office already. So the people who are still working from home, there must be a reason. Big part of that. Two of those reasons is the workplace was toxic in the first place. They didn't like being at the office. And they like being at home and being a part of something that's real. That's them. Family, friends, all that is real life. Work is just a part of that. For some people, work is just about the paycheck. I'm all about finding meaningful work so that, yes, you're not only getting paid, but you're also like, you enjoy it, you're getting something out of it, you're feeling fulfilled. If you're going to put 40, 50 hours in, I think, yes, it should mean more than just a paycheck. However, I'm not going to say that the only way for it to mean something is if you're actually in the building. A lot of people, Mr. Gladwell included, do meaningful work at the house. So to make it seem like the only way like your job is really meaningful and you're getting something out of it is if you do it in a building is kind of insulting our intelligence. You know what I mean? Like that's what got me worked up. I'm like, bro, like, and maybe it was just kind of he wasn't planning on talking about that and was put on the spot to just kind of, you know, it is in interviews. It'll go in a direction and you might just be feeling comfortable and you just say something. But I'm just like, you got to acknowledge that like a lot of people have a lot going on in their lives outside of work. And it was going into the office every day that was taking them away from that. And now they're like, hey, I can be a part of all this other stuff in my life and get my work done by working remotely, working at home. It is in my best interest to work from home. It is not destroying my life because I'm not coming to your building every day. But I did like this interview because it gave us a glimpse of like how the bosses see it, right? It gave us a glimpse of what they talk about, how the bosses see it when they're sitting around in their meetings and they're like, man, we got to get these people back. We got to get these people back. We own all this commercial real estate. And if nobody's working in these buildings, our property values are going down because no one's going to want to buy these buildings. We're losing millions of dollars, these people working from home, even though productivity's up, we're losing millions of dollars on this real estate. We got to get these people back so that people will want to buy our building so that it'll still be worth what it's worth. Or whatever boss reasons they got. You get an insight in what it's like in their world. No mention made. I'll say very little mention made. Because they did kind of jokingly talk about, yeah, it's a hassle to come in. No, I'm like, really? That's a giggle? Yes, it's a hassle. Yes, it's real money. And let me add, it's a hassle we don't get paid for. If I have an hour, I've had an hour commute one way, 2 hours total. I've had that before recently. 2 hours on the bus a day. Now I didn't have to pay for gas, but that was 2 hours of my day. Actually, it was more like hour and a half, or one way it was like an hour and a half. When I took the bus, yes, it was like one way was an hour and a half. It was like 3 hours or more a day on the bus that like I don't get paid for. It's a hassle we don't get paid for. When I started driving, it was an hour, but then I had to pay for gas. So not only it's a hassle that takes time away from our lives and takes money out of our pocket. And we're supposed to just like start paying that gas money again, or start like, wasting those hours every day just because y'all think we'd have a better team. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I know me. We all know ourselves. We're all adults here. Like, in the part about where he was like, let me read it because I don't want to misrepresent. I want to read it. Where does it say? Wait. I want to read the exact words. Oh, here it is. I'm really getting very frustrated with the inability of people in positions of leadership to explain this effectively to their employees. So we as employees are too dumb. That's what I'm hearing. We as employees are too dumb to understand like what's going on in our lives with our work. Like we think we want to work from home, but like until massa explains it to us, we're too dumb to realize it's not in our favor. That's what I heard there. People in leadership need to explain this to their employees, that it's ruining their lives working from home. We're all grown men and women here. I know if working from home is beneficial to me or not. And I would argue that a lot of the people who is not have gone back to the office. They was like, I tried that. It wasn't no fun for me. I realized I really don't like being at home with my husband. I'm trying to be in the, you know what I mean? That's what I'm like, oh, really? So people in leadership have to explain to us dumb, ignorant employees that we need to come back to the office. And you're getting frustrated that they can't. That's what, no thought for the worker here. No thought. This is a classic example of why work is broken in America and so many other places. This is it in a nutshell. No thought given to the actual worker and what they're going through and what they're thinking. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. These buildings are empty. People need to come back, and we got to explain to them why that's the case. Yeah, but do you want to get like the workers' take on this? They ain't smart enough. We have to explain to them that they need to come back to work. But what if they really like working remotely? It's not in their best interest. I done told y'all. We have decided, the bosses have decided they need to come back. That's the bottom line. I don't care if it's more money every week to drive to work. I don't care if it takes, an extra 10 hours out of your work, out of your week. I don't care. I don't care if the reason you wanted to work remotely is because you didn't like being in the office. Don't care. Y'all need to come back. It's bad for you because you're not part of a work team. Granted, you got your family at home, which is your actual team you're playing on. That's not, no. Unless you have a good work team, unless you have the type of work-life balance we, the bosses, say you should have, it's not good for you. Because if it's not good for us, it's not good for you. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I would have been fine if there had been some mention of, now, hey, because I get jumped on for this a lot. People say I talk about stuff and I don't like mention that, like, hey, it's a little different for me because of my situation. So I would have liked if he had just said, now, hey, this doesn't apply to everybody. Obviously, I can't speak for everybody. These are just my thoughts. This is the way I'm seeing it. But obviously, I can't speak for everybody. I don't think he's worked in office much. I don't know. Hang on one second, folks. It seems like we got an issue in the chat. Hold on. All right, I'm keeping my eye on that. Yeah, it was just like, we know what's best for the employee, and it's going back to the office in the discussion. Nobody, we can't even mention that. Which, I mean, they have the right to those opinions. I'm just saying that as like the employees, we have the right to our opinions. That's why we're having this stream, because I want to know what y'all think about this. And like, I think we're seeing the changes that have happened so rapidly, because the changes we've seen in the past 2 years are scary for the corporations. So I think we're seeing them. This is them kind of punching back. When you hear them, and I'm not saying Malcolm Gladwell speaks for the corporations, but I feel like they have the similar mindset. I feel like this is them, trying to get back some of what they gave. And I just don't think it's going to work. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's going to work. A lot of people are like, yeah, when the recession hits, people will go back to work, because, a lot of people, not only are a lot of people working remotely, but a lot of people ain't working. So a lot of people aren't in the office because they're working from home. A lot of people aren't in the office because they just ain't working, period. And so, people are like, yeah, when that recession hits, everybody will go back to work. They're trying to get the whole great regret buzzword going, but nobody's falling for it. Nobody's falling for it. The people who ain't working. Will some people probably go back to work if the recession hits? Probably. Is it going to go back to the way it was? No. And that's my point, is that work is broken, and people are realizing that. And I don't think it's ever going to go back to the way it was before. And so we're going to have to come up with like solutions that work for both parties, as opposed to us just like holding our ground. Mike01 Davis, thank you. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate that love, man. So what's up, Tim, and everybody in the chat? Listen, while I'm out here gigging, nice. I have no time to report you in office, but I really just don't want to. Fact. Hey, Mike, I appreciate that love. Appreciate the support. Definitely helps to keep the stream going. Thank you. I think there will, as with all things in life, the work was so out of whack. It was so much in the corporations and the companies and the bosses' favor that it swung, back into the employees' favor, and eventually it will find a happy medium. but there's going to have to be, some changes made, definitely on the part of, I think a lot of corporations and stuff think that like, oh, it'll go back to the old ways in like a couple of years. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I honestly believe that if a recession comes and people are like, I'm broke if I go to work, or I'm broke if I sit at home, I'll just sit at home, collect whatever, government monies there is out there. If I go to work every day, I hate my job, I hate the office, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, why not just give up, sit at the house? Like if everybody's broke, you know what I mean? Yeah, the ideal of the only way you can have like be a part of something is at work is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. If all jobs were great and like the people were nice and you didn't have to deal with office politics, yeah. I mean, we all would love to have a job like that where you go to work and feel like you're part of a team. I think all of us would love that. But that's not always the case. We can't act like it is. That's an argument for like a perfect world. You can't act like just by going back to the office, everybody's suddenly going to feel like empowered and go team. No, it's going to be the same stuff. That's why people want to be at the house. And the people who don't want to be at the house will go back. Plain and simple. I think we're smart enough to figure it out for ourselves. It doesn't have to explain to us in some big company meeting, this is why y'all need to come back to the office. If you're a company and you're like, everybody has to come back, cool, that's your right. If you employ people, like I'm always saying, if I take the king's shilling, I got to march to the beat of the king's drum. So if you're a company, you're like, hey, we want everybody back, y'all got to come back, that is your right. But just know you're going to lose a lot of people because they'll go work for a company who hasn't said that. And maybe that's how it'll shake out. You'll have companies that are heavy on the like, we want people in the office. And then you'll have companies that are like, you know what? We kind of want to let go of some of this real estate and just let everybody work remote. And then we can just kind of figure it out as employees who we want to work for. If I go there, I got to be in the office. If I go there, I can be remote. Let me go work there. Or some people might like, I like it better over there. But I don't think we can make blanket statements about remote work being detrimental or not in our best interest. That just gets, I don't know. That just gets people worked up. And I do, Stephen Bartlett did say in that interview, I do like the ideal of a mixture. And I think a lot of people would too, because there's some of us who may not want to go in the office every day, but twice a week would be cool. If they're like, all right, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you work remotely, you work from home. Tuesday and Thursday, you come in the office and we have meetings and whatever. And we do our team building exercises and all that other stuff. Cool. I might want to get out the house twice a week. As much as I love being at the house, I might look forward to, eating lunch with a couple of my coworkers on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If there was a balance and a mixture, I think people would like that. Because then you get best of both worlds. It's like I get the office environment if I like it. And I also get to be at the house. Best of both worlds. I think those are some of the solutions we're going to have to start coming up with. Because, people aren't going to go for just that 40, 50 hours mandatory in the office no more. They got options. People have options. And the smart companies are going to offer even more options or are going to be very flexible with the options. People who just sit around like, no, you must be here. There ain't going to be nobody to be there. There's not going to be nobody to be there. So just wanted to weigh in on that. It was a very short clip, but it was, I don't know. I was just like, wow, really? Like, we ain't smart enough to realize whether or not working from home is working for us? Working remotely is working for us? Like, employers need to mass email us and let us know it's not working. Hey, I don't know if you realized it while you're working from home and loving it, but it's not really serving you. You know why? Because you're not part of our team. That's another thing. I'm going to need companies to stop saying we're a family. I personally, when I am at work, I do call it a team. but like that's usually like my actual team. You know, when I'm in the housekeeping department, managing a housekeeping department, that's my actual team. The 50 people there is the team. The whole company is not a team. All the backstabbing and politics and craziness that goes on in companies, the whole thing is not a team. You can have a small team, but this whole we're a big family here, we're one big team, we all work together. Stop. No, everybody knows it's not true. Why do we keep saying it? Why do we keep saying it? It's a family. Have you ever worked somewhere and they were like, we're a family here, and you believed it? Now, if you got there and you worked there for a couple of weeks, you're like, dang, it's cool here. Okay, but you know, why do we keep saying, let people find out for themselves? I don't get it. We're a family here. I'm like, stop. Like, you're not. You've ever like been interviewing somewhere and you could already tell it was drama. you only talked to two people since you've been there, and they're like, we're one big family here. You're like, no, you're not. You don't even like the dude who walked me in here. Y'all didn't even speak. I got a family. And that's the thing too. I got a family. I got friends, people I consider family. I don't need my family to be at work. Now, if I meet some people at work and we become good friends, cool. Like I said, I've had some wonderful work relationships, work friendships. But like, I don't need y'all. Like, if it happens, it happens. I don't need y'all to be my family. Like, stop. What are we doing? Like, but that goes back to like corporations think that like that's who like they should run your life. These companies think because for so many years we let them get away with it, they think that like they should run our lives. We're your family now. Completely drama-free environment. Yeah. There's no drama here. We're one big family. Everybody works together. Everybody gets along. It's not true. I would just be honest and be like, hey, we come together, we get the job done. Do we have our issues? Sure. Are there people nobody likes? Sure. You know what I mean? But hey, you put in a full week's work, you get a full week's pay. You know, and there's donuts every morning. You want the job or not? That's how I'd be. I'd be like, if I owned the company, I'd be very, this is what you're making. This is who you're gonna be working with. We try to have fun. Pizza on Fridays. I don't know. Whatever. Gift cards at Christmas. I don't know. That's a joke. I don't know. I wouldn't give gift cards. I don't celebrate Christmas. Yeah, you can make friends working from home. Like that's what life like. That's what life is about. Like, you know what I mean? That's what life is about. I don't have to go to work to have all that figured out for me. You know, y'all don't have to figure that out for me. I know how to have a life. Hey, Lisa, appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Just reading some of the comments, getting caught up. Now we said, I'll get my own coffee and donuts. I just want to stay at the house. Spicy Punk Rocker. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you. So, bro, one that always gets me is if you talk about how much you make with other employees, you'll get fired. The thing is, everyone does that. True. Super Chat Squad. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you. That's here's the thing, too. Like, I'm a grown man. If I want to, I will. You know what I mean? Like, that's what gets me about that is like, I don't never talk money. But if I wanted to, I can. You can't tell me I can't talk about how much money I make. Like, I don't think that's legal. Now, if you're in a right to work state, yeah, they can fire you for anything. But like that shit, you shouldn't be able to tell me that. You can't tell anyone how much you make. Yes, I can, because it's my money. That's all. Yeah, that one always gets me too, because I just get aggravated. Like, you're not gonna tell me. That's one of the things. If I hear that, I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna be here long, because that means they got too many rules. I don't do rules. I come to work, I do my job, I don't bother nobody, I go home. You start hitting me with these rules, I'm gonna go home on Thursday, and I come back. You can't tell nobody how much you make. What you scared of? You know what I mean? Hey, appreciate that, Spicy Punk Rocker. Thank you. That's a good point. Bozu said VR will completely eliminate the need for office-based work in 10 years. Possibly, possibly. I feel like a lot of the jobs that you don't need to be in the office for now. I mean, I feel like a lot of the jobs you don't really need to be in the office for, the need is already eliminated. You know, the need is already eliminated. I mean, between Zoom and the internet, and what is VR really going to add to the table? Like, I feel, I mean, it'll make it even better, but like, I think most jobs, the need to be in the office is eliminated already. Hey, you likely lost. How you doing? Yeah, you work from home. You can sleep in longer, be in a better mood. Like, more freedom, more freedom. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're trying to take some freedom away from me, you got to give me a better reason other than like, well, you'd be more part of the team, Timothy. Like, you got to give me a reason. I'm enjoying sitting at the house in my pajamas. I'm enjoying no commute. I'm enjoying no extra gas. I'm enjoying being able to, fart whenever I want to, scratch whenever I want to. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Those are some of the perks. I'm enjoying all that. You're gonna take that from me, you gotta give me something. Yeah, Kara, that's a good point. The word allowed. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Too much power over our lives. It's to the point like, oh, we pay you so we can tell you what you can and can't do, what you're allowed to do, what you're not. All that. I don't do well with that. I don't do well with you telling me. I was like, I'm very respectful on work stuff. Anyone I've ever worked for will tell you, you tell Tim to do it, he's going to do it. You tell Tim to do it and it's work based and it's your job. You know what I mean? My boss, my manager, my supervisor, hey, Tim, can you do this for me? Boom. Now, you going to say it in a respectful manner. You're not going to come at me sideways. You're not going to you ask me to do it, I'll do it. Let's clarify. You ask me to do it, I'll do it. You telling me and coming weird with me, and even sometimes you telling me, but like, all right, like, but you're going to be respectful. And then we will have no problem. I will do whatever you ask me to do because that's what you're supposed to do. You telling me what I can and can't do and all this other stuff, that's when we start to have a problem. I'm a grown man. Treat me as such. We will get along. You will never have to worry about whatever work you give me getting done. But as soon as people start getting too, then that's when we have a problem. Because it's like, nah. And keep your word to your boy. If you tell me, hey, if you do this, we'll do this for you. This is your position. These are your duties. Then you start giving me other duties and you going back on your word, I'm going to be up out of there. I said I was going to do this and I did it. You said you was going to do this, but you didn't. So now I'm not going to do that. Up out of there. Nah, And I think that's the way it should be. That's just respectful. Hey, Javier, thank you, Javier. Appreciate that. Super Chat Squad in the building. Javier said the truth will always set you free. Keep dropping the wisdom. Hey, it will. It will. And that's why I try to be a truthful, honest person every single day. We all fail every now and then, but I try, you know what I mean? I try to be like the most honest person I can be. Javier, I appreciate that. That's love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Super Chat Squad in the building. Shout out to Javier. Truth will set you free. Dropping the wisdom. We try. Thank you, Javier. Telling me I can't be on the phone in the office. Why do you care? If the job gets done, why do you care if I was on my phone? I'm a grown up. I got kids. Some people, not me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I might have kids. My kid messaged me. I'm checking the phone. Can't be on your phone at work. Stop, bro. Like, oh. Yeah, soul's aligned. I'm with you. Most work, a lot of work is electronic. Why do I need to go in? There are some jobs people will have to go in, but those jobs never went remote anyway. But like a lot of the jobs that went remote, we've seen over the past 2 years, the work's still getting done. What's the problem? I'll tell you, the real estate value has a lot to do with it. Y'all think I'm playing. I'm telling you, real estate value has a lot to do with it. So, oh, we have this $25 million building, and if nobody's in it, that means no one's ever going to want to buy it from us. That means it's not worth $25 million no more. I'm telling you, stuff like that, they be asking to go to the bathroom. Oh, yeah, all kind of stuff is crazy. All that stuff they program in your head from school. And like I said, I will be the first, and I've said this on here before. A lot of times because now I'm just doing my internet stuff, but a lot of times I am like, you know what? I might go back and work a little bit just to be around people. So I get it. I'm not saying that's not true. That like sometimes when you work alone, work at home, that you miss people, you miss that interaction. Not saying that's not true, but I'm just saying that like as grown adults, we can decide for ourselves whether you're like, all right, I'm gonna go back to work to get that interaction, or like I've ramped up hanging out with my friends lately. I used to be very like maybe once a month I'd hang out with somebody. Now I'm kind of like, hey, I was in a funk for a little bit, but now I'm like, you know what? Hey, if someone has to hang out, let's hang out. And I'm in better moods. It gives me something to do. I get to be around my friends. I have the best friends in the world. Like, that. And then I'm ready to come back and like sit at the computer all day and edit the video because I've got other stuff going on. And then I'm like, all right, I got to make some time for work, and it's work I love doing. So I'm excited to do it. When I just sit at the house all week, that's when you see me just like not doing any work. It's weird. But like we can decide for ourselves how to fix that. You're not just going to tell me that the only way to fix that is like go back to work, come back to the office for people who work remotely, Just reading the comments. Yeah, Danielle, I thought about doing a best remote jobs video, and I still might. It's just a ton of research. And honestly, like, how would I ever know? Like, I could research and come up with what other people have said are the best remote jobs, but like, how, what I mean? Unless I worked them all, how would I know? So I kind of want to do a video on that, but I got to figure out how, you know? O'Malley Smith, I'm surprised that malls are still open. I thought malls were done. But there is something about, I think the malls have existed, and I think they always will. Now that I really start thinking about it, I think as humans, we like the ideal of going into the mall, trying on the clothes. Like sometimes you're like, I don't have time to order it, put it on, it doesn't fit right, send it back. Sometimes like you need an outfit for tomorrow anyway, so you need to, go in the store. And I think too, there's just a social something to actually going to the mall and walking around the food court and like passing stores you wouldn't have thought about passing. Tons of people never would shop at Spencer's.com, but in the mall you might pass the Spencer's and be like, oh, that's a funny T-shirt. Let me get that for grandma. You know what I mean? So I think there's something to malls that we like. So I think there'll always be malls. I just think you're gonna start seeing like the smaller, crappier malls disappear, and like the bigger malls might last. But in small towns where there's nothing else but the mall might boom. I do think we're gonna see a decrease in malls, but a couple of years ago I would have been like malls are done. But now that I think about it, I'm like, I think they'll stick around just because we kind of like them, But yeah, there's really very little need for malls. But something I think we do is just like, ooh, I like that. They should turn all them office buildings into low income housing. Facts. That's what you do. Turn it into low-income housing, then we're already at home and at work. That's what they should do. Half the building, we're going to turn it into cheap apartments for our employees. Floors 10 through 1, we're going to turn it into affordable housing for our employees. Then we wouldn't mind coming upstairs and going to work every day or a few days out the week. That's a good point. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. Hey, yeah, I feel you, likely lost. I feel you, Laura. It's like I feel like I'm missing working around people until I'm around people. Then I'm like, why do I want to do this? Same here. I'm I'm a lot like that too. Like I'm like, man, I might go back to work just to be around some people. And then when I go back to work, I'm like, I feel like it's, and I know for me, I realized recently I'm chasing some of the work coworker situations I had in the past that were amazing. And so in my mind, when I go back to work, I'm thinking I might stumble across that again. And when I don't, I can't deal with it. Because like I'm judging the new situation based on that, because that's what I'm looking for. And then when I find something else, it's kind of like in a relationship. You with somebody amazing, something happens, you're always going to be chasing that. Even if you meet somebody decent, you're going to compare them to the past. And they're going to be like, man, I'm trying my best. You're like, it's not you, it's me. You're okay. It's just you not Tyrone. You're not Susan. I can't. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this would be at work. It's like, I'll go to some places, they're okay, but it's not that. And I'm like, I can't. This is, once you've had an amazing work situation, anything less, you're like, why am I doing it? Like, I don't even want to, these people don't even, why am I here? I get it. I get it. Hey, Raz Bliss, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the love. Good to see you. Thank you. Oh, and I missed another. Dang, my bad, folks. Hold on, I missed one. Let me make sure I'm in these comments. I missed one. Spicy Punk Rocker. Thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad said I think movie theaters will always be around too. I agree. I agree. That's another one that we thought was going to disappear, and I think some of them have. But we like going to the movies. We're like, as humans, we're social creatures, so we like getting together in places where we want to get together. Malls, movie theaters, amusement parks. I don't go to the movie theater, unless it's like 1 p.m. I go when the old people go. I go when the over 60s go because they don't talk. There's not a lot of popcorn eating. There's not a lot of talking. There might be some snoring if the movie runs too long. There might be some napping. I ain't trying to go when there's kids. Anyone, if people under 60 go, I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to go. Under 60 or over 5, go. I'm not trying to go. Nope, nope. But yeah, people like movie theaters, so I think they'll be around. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate that. Hey, Jay Cortez, have fun at the open house. Comfort Zone Studio, appreciate you asking people to hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just catching up with comments here, making sure I'm not, I'll be reading. There's a lot of comments today. Okay. Shirley, you can get in touch with me on Instagram. I had an email, but I started getting so much like junk from it, like I stopped even checking it. But you can get in touch with me on Instagram. Laura, me and Jess have not got up yet. It's my fault. It's totally my fault. We were supposed to, and I just wasn't. I was in a little funk. So we have not got up yet. But I did talk to her a couple days ago. So we are going to meet up. But not yet. It's my fault. I'm horrible with getting up with people. Trying to do better. Ty, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. You're like guy. You're like 94.8% sure you're quitting your job tomorrow. Um, should you email and not go in, or give them 2 weeks notice? I mean, there's another option. You can go in and quit. You can email, not go back. You can go back and be like, "Hey, today's my last day," or you can go back and give them 2 weeks notice. I always say on that, like, follow your conscience. You know what I mean? If it doesn't feel right, just quitting, give them the 2 weeks. But if it's one of them situations, it's going to be a crazy, weird, awkward 2 weeks. There's nothing wrong with either emailing or a person saying you quit, as long as they know. You know. But yeah, yeah. Hey, whatever works. What's up, Rico? Oh, we got some climate change talk going on. Okay, okay. Natalie's still looking at that good work from home job. There's some out there. I don't know particularly. I don't know all the details yet. I haven't done my research yet, but I know there's some out there. No, I'm in Colorado. Leo said, if humans were not social animals, a lot of these businesses would have collapsed already. Facts. I agree. And if we weren't programmed to work for someone else. But yeah, yeah. And I think that's part of the fear. You know, it's a lot easier to look for another job sitting at the house. You know, a lot of people sitting at the house working remotely. That you're already on the computer, nobody else around. A lot easier to let me find it. You know what I mean? I think that control, like having you in the office, they got something over on you. If you quit, you gotta, they see. You know what I mean? I think some fear setting in on the employer's parts. Yeah, likely loss. I'm with you. A lot of times, I'm just like, it's going. I tell them, today's my last day. No, no, I never agreed to 2 weeks notice. Here's my thing. I never agreed to 2 weeks notice. Right? I never signed anywhere and was like, "Hey, I'm going to give 2 weeks notice if I leave." All throughout my life, it wasn't like when I was 12. I put my hand on the holy book and was like, "I will always give 2 weeks notice." No, they came up with that. Oh, before you quit, you should give 2 weeks notice. They came up with that. If somebody else comes up with that, I could come up with a rule that says, "Hey, you need to give Timothy Ward $1,000 a year." Doesn't mean you have to do it, and nobody's going to do it. You know why? Because it's stupid. It's something that only benefits me. That's basically what the companies did. Oh, by the way, if you quit, you got to give us 2 weeks notice. You don't have to. They just came up with that. It's stupid, and it benefits them. If you can't take that 2 weeks, it's going to be a hassle. Leave. Like, use somebody else for a reference. I say this a lot. I gotta say it, and it might differ depending on where you are, work wise, and all this other stuff. The type of companies you work in, the field you work in. We got to get over this fear of like references and resumes. Like, trust me, you smart enough to find a way to get a good reference. They don't do a background check on the person who they call and give you a reference. Gives you a reference. That's all I'm saying. You smart enough. You grown. You can find somebody who will answer a phone and give you a good reference. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to give them 2 weeks of my life because I'm scared I might need a reference from them one day. You assuming they're going to give you a good one anyway. A lot of bosses are vindictive. You quit with 2 weeks or not, they still not going to give you a good reference. Nah, if I'm about her, I'm about her. I'll be okay. I'll figure out my resume. I'll figure out my references. I know a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people. I'm not. You know what I mean? I just don't make decisions. I try, excuse me, not to make decisions out of fear, especially when it comes to work. because some of the best jobs I ever got came after I quit. Came after I quit. Trying to I'm seeing some off topic questions. I'm trying to, at least for the first hour, stay on topics. Stay on topic here. Yeah, and Kristen, I'm with you. Like I think a lot of, especially these days with the great resignation and the great people ain't even trying to apply. I think fewer and fewer places are asking for references, like I just not something. I'd say there's a lot of these old rules that applied in our parents' day, and they still getting us with them. Now, if you want to give notice, I respect it. That's cool. I've done that before. But like, if you don't want to, you ain't got to. Like, it'll be okay. Daniel said, go to urgently hired jobs. They don't care about references, resume, nothing. When can you be here? When can you show up? CC Trucker, hey, I appreciate you mentioning you on your channel. It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm have to check that out. I see you, Laura. Yeah, man. I didn't say. I never said have your friends lie for you. I just said you're smart enough to figure out how you grown. You smart enough to figure out to put down a phone number that if someone calls and says, "Hi, I'm calling from so and so, so and so. Can I?" In regards to Sympathy Ward, to start to be, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm whoever you're looking for. Yeah, yeah, he worked for me. How long? How long? What did he put down? I'm not at the computer. Yeah, he did that. Yeah, he was a good worker. Yeah, pleasant day to you too. Yeah, but come on, y'all grown. I just don't make decisions out of fear, man. You know what I mean? If it comes back to bite me, that's the price I pay for dipping. That's the way I look at things too. Like I've always been open to like paying the price for what I do. If I'm in a job, I get aggravated. I was like, I can't take this no more. I leave without giving 2 weeks notice. It comes back to bite me somehow. It's just the price I pay. I had to get up out of there. If it means I can't use that job as a reference, I'm burned at that job. I'm blacklisted. I don't like that word blacklisted. No. If I'm whatever listed, um, if I'm no color listed, so what? You know what I mean? That's the price I paid. I had to get up out of there for my sanity or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's what I look at stuff. Like I do what I got to do, and then I navigate with whatever happens. If some jobs, yeah, they were nice people. It was just some jobs I was leaving for different reasons. I just wanted to move on to something else. I'm gonna give y'all 2 weeks notice. If y'all nah, yeah, much easier to leave the workplace once you got your side hustle set up. Preach, talk. I keep saying it. One of the best ways to add freedom in your life is with a side hustle. Your swag is totally different. Trust me. We start bringing in that side hustle money. Your swag gets different at work. In the beginning, you 100% at the mercy of the job to get money and like pay your bills. 100%. This job pays all your bills. You got to take some things. You go out, you get you a little, let's just say, gig job. Uber Eats, Etsy, eBay's, plant waterer, dog walker. Y'all saw the video. Y'all saw my video. Poop picker upper. Y'all saw the video. Now you make a little more money. Now you got some side hustle money coming in. This company ain't responsible for 100% of your income now. You start to be like, man, my other job is paying my car note, paying my utilities, paying this. Okay, your swag gets a little meaner at the job. They can't talk to you like they used to talk to you because you got other money coming in. And in your mind, you're like, if I stay with this by next year, this little side hustle thing is gonna be paying like half my bills. I only need y'all at this job half as much. And then that glorious day comes, ladies and gentlemen. That glorious day comes. If you stick with it, if you persevere, that glorious day comes when your side hustle or your side hustles are making as much as your main job or enough that it can pay all your bills. Even if you're not making as much as your main job, but if your side hustles can pay all your bills, I'm telling you, that is a sweet day. They can't tell you nothing at the job no more. Nah, you don't even be paying attention. You don't even, you never pay attention to the meetings, but you act like you do. You don't even act like it no more. You over there like this. You over there working on your side hustle. You don't even care. I tell you, that day when I can walk out of here and all my bills will still be paid, they got to talk to you nice. It don't take much. It don't take much. You know what I mean? I give props to the people whose side hustles can pay all their bills and they stay at their regular job. Props to those people. Props to those people. They got goals, ambitions of a financial nature because it's hard. The slightest thing, you're like, nah. They got one more. That's how that always. My roommate laughs about this because we work together a lot, and he knows because I'll come home and I'll be like, one more. Now I'll be like, that's one. What happened? I'll tell him, I'm like, that's one. He's like, man, when you get to 1, 3 is like tomorrow, and it's usually like a week later. I'm like, man, I'm done. So I'm telling you, the side hustles, totally different swag. Yeah, Scott, I've been there. I've been places like that before when like I was like offended because like I was a great employee and I blew up one day, walked out, and like one time threw my keys. In fact, one time I threw my keys, but I had my house key on it. I had to go back, or I called somebody. I was like, "Hey, can you get my keys off the boss's office because I threw them, but it has my house key on it." But they didn't try to stop me. Like that was open for them. When my friend was like, "Hey, Tim needs me to bring him his house key," if I was the boss, I would be like, "Nah, I got it." I would have tracked him down. Actually, did he? Actually, no, I'm wrong. I did call my friend and I was like, "Go get my keys." And the boss did bring the key, but he didn't. He was more like, and in hindsight, long story short, the reason I left was because somebody was going in my rooms before me and like stealing my tips. And I think the boss tracked me down to try to like see was I gonna like try to, raise some funk raise the funk about that. Because I think he might have been tied in it too. Anyway, but I was kind of offended because he really didn't try to stop me from going. I was one of the best housekeepers there, one employee of the month. Like I was that dude. And he was just kind of like, well, you made your mind up. What were you so mad about? Like, okay, all right, well, here's your keys. See you. I'm like, you didn't even try to get me to stay? That shows me you don't really care. You know what I mean? That shows me you don't really care. So I think I made the right decision. I agree. Financial conversations with Brian. Employers need to be sensitive to employees' needs. That's the real, yeah. That's what I was saying in this Malcolm Gladwell interview. There was nothing about the employees' needs. There was nothing about what the employees say their needs are. There was something about the employees' needs, what they thought they were. Oh, they need to be part of a team. Their life needs to mean something, so they need to come back to work. Foolishness. There was no, you know what I mean? There was no consideration of, hey, why do people say they want to work from home? What are their needs? What do they want? It was just like, no, we've decided that their lives have no meaning when they work from home. It's not in their best interest. We've decided. they need to come back to work. Come on now, like you gotta ask people. Noah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I like that sticker. Super Chat Squad, thank you, Noah. I appreciate that. My hero, hey, thank you. Super Chat Squad. I'm getting the comments jump around on me when there's a lot of going on in the chat. So if you see me read one, then read one further, I apologize. YSBH, you can never think of anything to do for a side hustle? What? Google it. There's lots of side hustle ideal stuff on Google. But honestly, I think the best side hustles are ones that like you kind of come up with something a little different on your own. O'Malley Smith, I saw that video too. The guy who left his 6-figure job to work at a grocery store. Yeah, I saw that too. Miki, yeah. Hopefully I said your name right. Miki, yeah, started doing freelance video editing and product photography. The freedom is unexplainable. That's what I be telling people. That's what I'm telling people. That freedom. Shout out to you. And knowing that bigger money will come, you know what I mean? Just having that looking down the road and oh, I'm doing this now. I keep doing that. This boom, boom. You know what I mean? Because that's like something, like when you're doing freelance or side hustling, if you put in the work, it's probably going to pay off. If I put in the work long enough, it'll pay off. You can't say that a lot of times about your job. You don't look down the road at your job, most of us, and be like, yeah, this is going to pay off. It's really kind of a right now situation. So it's cool to have something you're working on, you're in control of. You're like, hey, I'm growing this. This will pay off. I see you, Kara. Made 15K, half a year on Etsy. Okay. That's good money. Damn. Oh, okay. Check out Kara's Etsy store. What do you sell on Etsy? I'm curious now. Low carb monster. Yeah, the quiet quitting topic is getting there. I noticed the other day, the Australian media has really picked it up. Notice that. I went to Google, typed in quiet quitting, and then I hit the news. You have the search options at the top. I hit news, and it was like all Australia. Quiet quit, quiet quit, quiet quit. And there's like one from like America. So I'm glad it's in the USA Today. I'll have to look that up. It's coming. Quiet quit. I'm telling you, I was waiting. I was waiting for the media to pick it up. I was like, I need the media to pick it up. Hey, Rico. So Tim, you're the reason I'm the DoorDash king. Hey. I'll take that. That's awesome. JBaby07. It's a TaskRabbit. It's a good side hustle too. Charge your own rates and get the full amount. Pays the bills. Facts. That's all you just got to pay the bills. Danielle wants to trade stocks and cryptos as a side hustle. Hey, go for it. I think honestly, cryptos is probably one of the space right now where you can make the greatest gains. You also can lose the most. Crypto is still kind of the wild, wild west, I think. Now with the crypto winter, it's not as, but that's going to turn into crypto spring. But I really do think that like if you do your research, or if you just get lucky, you can make some crazy gains in crypto still. And I don't really know anything else where the gains, because it's so volatile. Volatility is excellent if you pick the right stuff. Volatility is amazing. There's a lot of money to be made with volatility if you back the right horse. You can also lose a lot of money. That's why people don't like it. But like, it's worth the gamble. That was what was that? I was talking about something the other day. Oh, getting out of the rat race. How'd they word that? Basically, like taking, when you have a small amount of money, taking like huge risk. If all you got is $5,000 in the bank, and you've identified what you think is a good, investment that could pay off well, throw 4,500 at it, and if it pays off and you end up with 15,000, that's a big deal. You lose the 4,500, still sucks, but you know what I mean? Like sometimes in life, and I've been thinking a lot about that, like sometimes in life, taking these huge bets with smaller amounts of money that could pay off exponentially is the move. Because even if you lose, you only lost a small amount of money, but if it pays off like you think it's going to pay off, that's a big, a lot of people don't agree with this. A lot of people don't agree with this. No, no, no. If you only have a small amount of money, you should invest it in a mutual fund and do the. You can do that, or you can put it all on black, put it all on red. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there is something to like finding a very risky investment vehicle that pays off when it pays off and going for it. Hey, Will, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate saying that, Will. It is the glasses. I look very enlightened with the glasses. I'm joking. I'm joking. I've been trying to, learn some stuff. I realize that when I have more time to do what I want and read and study and walk, I realize like things start to seem to make more sense to me. Aisha, you said you'd be free if you didn't have pets. Hey, well, somebody will buy them from you. CC Trucker, I am a Scorpio. No one ever gets it right. Well, I'm way behind these comments. All good though. Appreciate the chat. Yeah, JT, Gary V is a very big inspiration in my life. I love, yeah, one of the content creators I watch the most. And yeah, I just love how he gets so simple with it. You go on you go on Facebook Marketplace, you go on Craigslist, you go to the free stuff section, you go pick the free stuff up, and then you put it back on the same website for sale. Wait long enough, somebody will come buy that microwave. There's ways to make money, man. There's ways to make money. Wu Tang said, "What location is your favorite seasonal workplace?" A couple I really appreciated. I don't like to do favorites. Big Sky Resort, I really appreciated working there. The YMCA of the Rockies, I really appreciated working there. That being said, I wouldn't work at either of them now, but definitely worth looking into. Okay, let's keep it positive, people. Okay, thank you. Silver Lumberjack. I get in the funk from time to time. I think it's just natural, the cycles of life. And spending too much time alone does it too. Sometimes I'll be spending too much time alone. I'll get caught up in my own head and own thinking, and I'll kind of start to spin into a little bit of a funk. And when I get in a funk, that's when I want to spend even more time alone. And then it keeps, so I have to learn to come up out of it. Oh, am I this far behind in the comments? Wow. It'd be showing me that I'm at the bottom of the comments. And then oh boy. All right, where was that? Hold on. I'm gonna find out where I'm at. Okay, we was down here. Okay. Yeah, Mike Juan, Toro. I got a friend who's gonna start doing that. You can rent your car out when you're not using it. There's so many ways to make money, man. So many ways to make money. Like if you really, I'm a big believer in the 1 hour a day. Spend an hour every day researching side hustles. Make that your side hustle until you find one. Come home, research side hustles. I'm telling you, there's so many different ways to make money that, your cell phone and the internet has like totally changed the game. If this was 1975, yeah, maybe a part-time job would have been the move. But like it's 2022. Like I keep thinking it's 2023 already. It's 2022. Like there's so many like side hustles you can do from your phone. It's stupid. It's crazy. It's crazy. What brand are these frames? No clue. I can read. Well, I can't read the name brand with my glasses on. It says Lens Crafter. I think they're Lens Crafter brand. Isaiah, I do not have a video about solo traveling in Thailand. I don't. Um, yeah, but I mean, it's really not. Honestly, you know what I did? I booked the ticket, and then I did a lot of research about the hotel, and then I just flew there. Like I said, I really didn't. I found the best deal on the ticket. Hashtag I only fly Delta. I think half of it I had to fly something else, but the majority of it was Delta. And then I just did a lot of research about like hotels in Bangkok, and I went to Bangkok and Chiang Mai. So I researched. I used Google Earth, Google Maps, researched, found a good hotel in both cities. I stayed at a hostel in Chiang Mai. Um, it's really not a lot to it. I mean, you're really just the flight, finding how to get from the airport to your hotel, and then figuring out what you're going to do when you get there. But it's really not. I think a lot of times solo travel, especially out the country, is more mental than the actual like. And I mean, you want to research about the money and other stuff, but I think the big thing is just taking the step and going. And I'm the type like I like to research enough that I feel safe, but I kind of want to be ignorant when I go somewhere because I want to be surprised by everything. You know, I just go to my hotel and then we just walk around. Like I just learn. So on welcome mats, you made 2K in 20 days. What? Dang. I gotta look into that. I'm right there. Welcome mats. Okay. Yeah, Trent makes a good point. Yeah, with the internet, it's definitely I think changed the game with solo travel because you got your phone. And I think when I was in Thailand, I just went and bought a phone. Like my phone wasn't unlocked, so I couldn't just like you could just get a SIM card while you're there. But I just went to like a little store, like a little flea market kind of deal, and just bought a phone. And I used that phone while I was there. If you're thinking about Etsy, start during October. Good to know. Between then and Christmas, people are looking to buy gifts. You make money. Hey, thank you for that tip. See, we working together, learning. Milton checking in from Lakeland. How you doing? The Nomad welcome mats did best. I can believe that. I can believe that. MH had a friend who used to buy hard plastic sheets at Home Depot, cut the corners out using a plate as a guide, sold them as floor mats for office chairs. Smart, smart. There's so many side hustles. So many side hustles, man. People gonna buy stuff. People gonna want to buy stuff. Krista's got the right idea. Just the first side hustle is selling the crap around your house you don't need. That's the first side hustle. That's what I did. Well, I was already like dumpster diving and selling stuff, but then I just started selling stuff around the house. That's the first side hustle. We all got cash laying around. We're not using it. And I think I really love starting with stuff around the house because that kind of gets you in the game. And then you can kind of see if you're thinking about doing like retail arbitrage and buying from stores and reselling, it gets you kind of in the game. And you can start to see what people are willing to buy, kind of the prices. I would spend hours on eBay just like, I'm listing stuff, but then I'm also looking at other stuff that's listed. You know what I mean? It gets you in the game. You get a little skin in the game, and then you get kind of excited about it. It's a lot harder to just start off raw, going to the store buying stuff. You can. But when you've, made a couple sales, you made a couple sales and kind of, you know how it works. Like, it's not as intimidating. And you just kind of get a feel for, it gets to the point where you can see something and be like, oh, that'll sell. Just because you've been around in the game long enough. I think I can, even if you don't look the prices up, which you can do. You can look up anything on your phone in any store. Amazon and eBay, which is, 15, 20 years ago, you couldn't do that. You just had to guess. Now you can literally see something. I think that's underpriced. You go to the clearance aisle on Walmart, you look at the stuff they have, you pull it up on eBay, and you go to like sold listings, and it'll say world's best Boss coffee mug, recently sold for, and it'll show all the ones that sold in the price. If they're selling for more than what they're selling it for at the store, you buy it and sell it. Like there's so many ways. Oh, okay. We get to block somebody. We're not gonna do the preachy stuff, folks. By the way, folks, if you're enjoying the stream, you want to help your boy out, absolutely free. If you could hit that like button for me, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Dorothea says you can go to the flea market, sell there too. Yeah, you can go old school. You can go to the flea market, go to the farmer's market. You can do a yard sale. Tell me what. Old school. I forgot about flea markets. Take it old school. Take it back. Quasm, hey, much love. How did we go from working from home to side hustle? I guess it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same game. OfferUp's a good listing site. Yeah, I'm old school. All I know about is eBay. OfferUp. Appreciate that, guy. Yeah, man. Oh, boom. Over 200 likes. Yes. I think that is the ultimate, yes, Nallery, is the working for yourself from home. I think that's the ultimate goal. Because then can't nobody tell you to come back in the office. As someone who does that, I think that is the ultimate, like, now it does come with its own set of stressors. I'll be the first to admit it does come with its own set of stressors. And also there is the fact that, like, oh, if I ever did want to kind of be around people again, there's no office. It's just me at the house. And it's an amazing, beautiful thing. That's like the highest level of freedom. But it's, it comes with its own levels of stress. But if it's worth it to you, I think it's the best route to go. Work for yourself at the house. Then you never have to leave if you don't want to. Or you only got to leave when you want to. When you want to. Yeah, lady. It said, Tim, when you work from home, you got time to do other stuff when your work is done. Facts. I'm caught up on all my shows. I'm like that. I'm like, that's actually one of the pros and one of the cons, right? One of the pros of like working from home and like working for yourself is like you caught up on all your shows. which is a great pro. But then it's like, dang, I ain't got nothing to look forward to watching. It's a pro and a con, but I'm caught up on all my shows. That's when I just find more shows. But yeah, you got time to do stuff. That hour commute, that 2 hour commute every day, when you don't have that, that's more time. That's one thing, like an hour commute, 5 days a week, that's 5 hours times, you know, excuse me, 5 hours a week. Was that 20 hours a month times however many years you work at that company or you've been working? That's a lot of time in your life. You know what I mean? You work from home, you ain't got to give that up. Jess said the freedom to make a homemade Belgian waffle in the middle of the workday is unmatched. Facts, facts. It hits me some days like I'll be at the store and like I don't know 2 in the afternoon. I'll be at the King Supers or Safeway or something, and it'll just hit me that like I can go to the. You mean something small? I can go to the grocery store at 2 on a Tuesday. I'm at the grocery store just now eating lunch. That's what I want. You know what I mean? Like that's when it kind of hits me. It's usually not the big stuff. It'll be something little that like, oh, like if I don't want to eat lunch till 2, and you know what I mean? I don't have to. Down at the store, going to get my lunch. I'm gonna go back home. You know, I'm gonna watch a couple of my shows, and then I'll do some work. Set it up how I want to set it up. That's the time that I really get. But hey, for you, it's Belgian waffles. Hey. And I think those are the things, like employers don't think about. Like you know what I mean? When you're at the office, it's very rigid. Come in at this time, lunch at this time, go home at this time. You working, from home, things aren't very rigid, and also just little stuff like that. It's like, hey, I want to go down to the park for 30 minutes and walk around, then come back, get back to work. I'm still going to finish on my work, but I just want to run down to the park. You can, you know what I mean? Like just that freedom, even within the framework of working for someone else, that freedom you get from being at the house and just being able, I want to make a waffle right now. I'm going to make a waffle. I'm still going to get my work done. I'm still going to work the X amount of hours you want me to work. But right now, I want to do something different. That can make your whole day. 10 minutes of doing something you want to do when you want to do it can make your whole day. Rest of the day, plain Jane, nothing going on. But that 10 minutes where you was like, man, you know what? I actually want to go do that real quick. Then I'll come back. And you're able to, and it's not a problem. That's a big deal. Because you feel like you're in control of your life. I think that's what so many of us like are wanting these days, and for good reason. It's my life. I want control of it. We want more control of our life. And that's why people ain't just trying to like come back to your job and sit in your office on your clock and doing things you tell us we can do, when we can do them, all that. No, I'll do the work, but I want to be in control. I'm going to do it at the house. So you can't tell me what to do, when to do it. You tell me how to do it because you're paying me. This is how you do. You can tell me how to do work stuff, but all this other stuff is mine. And it's hard to like compete with that. As an employer, it's hard to compete with like me having more freedom. What's going to get me to come back? Because I'm going to have to give up some of my freedoms to come back. So unless you're paying me more, people don't want to stay at home. Stay at home. I don't mind working. I just want to do it like with the most freedom possible. Yeah, guys, stuff like that. You trying to call somewhere to get something taken care of. You got to take care of something at your bank. But like, since nobody's working, now, you can't get an operator, you got to go back to work. Oh, my lunch break's over. I got to get off the phone. You've been on hold your whole lunch break. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, bro, like, it's just, I don't know. The old way of work just took too much freedom from us, I think. Took too much freedom from us. Even at a regular job, you should be able to like, hey, I'm on the phone with the electric company. I'm gonna take an extra few minutes. All right, cool. This you look cool. Whatever. Handle your business. I don't know. I don't know. Work is broken. We gotta fix it. Hey, see you later, Raz. Yeah, yeah, I don't like being, y'all might notice, I don't like being told what to do. Especially when it goes above and beyond, like at work, yeah, it's your job. Y'all paying me. This is what the job is, I'm gonna do it. But when it gets beyond that, nah, nah. They got mad because you clocked in a minute late from lunch. Wow. That's what I'm saying. We're adults. A minute, like this whole clocking in and out thing is crazy too. It should be based on production when possible. Yeah, surely. Yeah, boss is scheduling your lunch break. Yeah, that. Yeah, come on now. You grown. I'm gonna eat lunch when I want to eat lunch. You got to be there when I need you. I will be, unless it's my lunch break, which I'm gonna take when I want to take it. See you, Dorothea. I used to say I don't like being told to do any aspect of my life. Facts. Tori, that's why you door dashing full time. Hey, that freedom. That's why I'm always yelling about gig jobs, man. That freedom, work when you want. One day, you're like, man, I want to grind it out. I'm doing 10 hours today. Next day, you're like, I'm gonna do 4. You know what I mean? I love when I was Instacarting, I would love, get up in the morning, do a couple batches, couple orders, and then I might be like, you know what? I really just want to sit over here behind the Kenyan Noble in the air conditioning and watch a couple videos on my phone. Do that for 30 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go do a couple more batches. After that, I might be like, you know what? It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. Go eat lunch. Then I might take Belgrade was probably, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes away. I might take a order out to Belgrade just because I wanted to drive. Drive out to Belgrade. It's out kind of in the country. I might do a batch out there. The Albertsons in Belgrade. Nobody ever wanted to go there. You could always shop from there. I'll do a batch in Belgrade. Just see some new stuff. Then I might head back to Bozeman. You know what I mean? Just it was very just kind of like chill when I was doing Instacart. It's just very like there were some days where I'm like, all right, Tim, you wanted to make X amount of money today. You're gonna have to go. But there are a lot of days where I was just like, I was just relaxed. I was chilling. It was the freedom. You make your own schedule. Some days, 1 o'clock roll around, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the house. Some days it'd be 5 or 6 o'clock. I'm still going. I go to dark some days, So yeah, that flexibility. I really love that. That's what I'm always talking about gig jobs. Like, if you haven't tried it, try it. Rona, that's awesome. Only got to make the Wednesday meeting. Nice. Zoo, yeah. People working multiple roles, not paying them anymore. No bonuses. Bonus, what's that? Wow, friend tried to work longer days so she could leave early on Friday. Nope. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I get my workload done for the week, I should be able to leave Thursday if I'm, you know what I mean? Like, Tria, hello. Maliversary or DoorDash too. Nice. I never did DoorDash. I like shopping. I didn't think I would, but I like to go into the stores and it's like a treasure hunt. Every batch I do, you get to go in the store, find it. When I couldn't find something, it wasn't always that exciting. But when you find it, eventually, it's always cool. Marquis, what up? What up? Yeah, man, we got a college professor look going on today. When we got serious topics, we like to throw a nice shirt on. Good to see you, by the way. 12, I'm with you. Yeah, I like the freedom to when I'm hungry, I eat. Tired of taking a nap, yeah, I love this card. It was fun. Hey, Wody Way, what's up? What's up? What's up? My opinion on guerrilla gardening, farming on land that isn't yours. I personally wouldn't do it. Like, you know what I mean? I personally wouldn't do it. No, if other people do it, more power to them. But like, I don't. If it ain't my land, I'm not trying to farm on it. Like, I don't know. James checking in. Hello. Did Instacart didn't make no money? Grubhub though. Okay, okay. Hello, Lord. Hello, Louis. I don't know why that different accents just pop out. Oh, Marquis, that Section 8 came through. Okay, okay. After 15 years, wow. You've been waiting 15 years for the Section 8? Wow. Don't know if you're feeling it though. I was wondering. You know what I mean? There might be a reason it finally came through. I don't know, but that's awesome. Yo, shout out, hey, this is patience, perseverance. You forgot about damn 15. That's crazy. That's crazy. Section 8 came through. Hey, shout out to Section 8. That means they keep you in the system. You know what I mean? They don't delete all the apps after 5, 10 years. You still in there. 15 years. Let's go ahead and give this man his Section 8 apartment. Hey, I don't know what that's so funny. 15 years. Dang. Ivan, glad you like the background. Yes, a little tapestry. We got off the Amazon, $25. I'm thinking about getting a new one soon. Shirley said plasma donation, another side hustle gives you about $500 a month. Nice. Yeah, I've had friends who did that. I'll be honest though. All the people I know who did plasma donation, how do I say this nicely? They was all drug addicts. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And that's not downing them. We all got our vices. But I mean, all the people I knew who did plasma donation was going through something, right? I never seen somebody who was just like, and maybe it's just the people I hung out with, but I never saw anybody who was just like, yeah, just got out of church. I'm gonna go there. I'll go there. Donate plasma. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just always like, I ain't too sure about them needles. Anyway, and I don't. For me, I get queasy when I get blood. So Brian's at work now. Thanks, Mark. Mark said, nice shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Traveling nomad who just donated our eggs for 8K. Okay, okay, okay. Do that. That's good money. Do men have eggs? I'm joking. That was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we did. No, we don't. That was a joke. But if we did, David, yeah, man, I apologize, man. I'm very behind on my IG messages. I apologize. I apologize. That's all me. I got no excuse. I haven't responded. I haven't even been looking. Um, I apologize. That's a controversial question these days. Hey, actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. Gender's disappearing, so I'm all for it. I'm all for it. When gender totally disappears, I'm all for it. Or when it's not even an issue, like we don't even, when it's just natural for people to just pick their gender, him, her, them, whatever. Like that's the world I'm waiting on. I'm all for it. I love it. A lot of the stuff the kids do these days, I'm all for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All for it. Doesn't mean nothing to me. Facts. Dang. Hey, that's why I'm Richard. That's why I'm child free, brother. That child support, that Chessa. You know what I mean? I, you, I, you know, hey, I hate to see anybody getting shafted, you know. But Lori, I'm working right now. We were on the stream. We working. Mark, there is a strip club near me, but I don't have nobody to go to it with. So I like honestly, I would go. I would go. But I don't have anybody to go to it with, so I probably won't go. Carmel, I never expected to be making like decent money on YouTube ever. No. Like I said, when they asked me to get monetized 7, 8 years ago, I almost didn't do it. Like I didn't even know. I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It seems like a hassle." I'm gonna sign up, whatever. When they asked me to I think to do my bank information, I was kind of like, "Ugh." When it switched from paper check to bank, I'm like, direct deposit. Ugh. But so yeah, there was never any concept of like making decent money on YouTube. No, no. So that's why it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I kind of stumbled into it. It's a blessing. Retired 2019. Go to Thailand. Do it. Do it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm going back. I got to figure out when, but I've been saying for years, but I'm going back. I think about Thailand all the time. So yeah, do it. Do it. I'm telling you. Do it. You'll thank me. Thailand's a cool place, man. It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. Like it's a different vibe. I think you'll like the vibe. Hey, Jasmine, working from home. Nice, nice. A little depressing at first, better with the new schedule. 12-hour shift, 3 days a week, 3 days on Sunday, 3 hours on Sunday. Nice, nice. Ivan, I post all the live stream recordings. So yeah, as soon as the live stream's over, they go up as videos. I keep all mine up. Some people take them down. I keep all mine up. Oh, Alan, I was against direct deposit because it was a hassle. I'm like, I gotta give them, you know what I mean? Because like you got to realize back then, and maybe it's just me too, but like some things that now we just as normal for like a website to ask for your direct deposit information was a little weird 6 years ago. You know what I mean? Now it's whatever, but like back then I was kind of like, give YouTube my bank information? It's like a hassle, but yeah, I almost didn't do it. We did it. Marquis, you say you're not entertaining as a person? Oh, all right, all right, all right. That was entertaining. Yeah, yeah. You go Malaverse. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay to get overseas. Yeah. The good news is you can fly pretty much anywhere in the world for $1,000. When when prices I feel like are starting to go down. But I mean that you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. I think mine was like 900, but I booked months in advance, and me, I be trying to get all my deals. So I think my flight to Thailand was like 900. Totally worth it. I stayed for 2 weeks. Totally worth it. Like, yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, they gonna charge you. Now I'm sure there's some ways you might could use Skyscanner or some of these other things to get a cheaper flight. But me, I'm going Deltas. But flying out the country ain't cheap typically. But I think it's worth it. I mean, to see another country, if they charge you, $500 to fly to New York and back. So like, yeah, they gonna charge you, but I personally think it's worth it. Yeah, I pay $1,000 all day, every day to go to Thailand. Yeah, round trip, totally. James, yes, that is one of the things that kind of annoys me is that like if you whenever you talk about like Thailand or some other places, people just assume you're going there to meet women, or like transgender women or stuff like that. And it's like Thailand is a whole country with beautiful scenery and so many other things going on that like not that there's anything wrong with that if that's why you go. But it kind of annoys me that like people always assume that's the number one reason you go. And I'm always telling people the stuff people do in their home country is the same stuff they do out the country. The people who's on that type of time do that stuff here. You know, people like they're yeah. I don't know. That kind of annoys me. It's always somebody like, oh, I know what you want to do. I'm like, bruh, I ain't gonna do none of that stuff. I don't do that stuff here. Why am I do it there? If I want to do it, I'd be doing it here. I don't know, but there's so many other things to do in Thailand. However, there is that too. If you're into that, like no shade, you know. What's up, Jeremy? Yeah, and on that flight, they're gonna feed you good. They're gonna feed you good. I think I got like 2 meals. One of the flight because it was I flew to Japan, had a layover, then flew to Thailand. Um, I think one of the flights, I think like the because it's like a 20-hour travel total. I think one of the flights I got like 2 meals. The 10-hour flight, we got like 2 meals and tons of snacks and water and yeah, the time flies. The 10-hour flight actually goes pretty quick because they just keep feeding you, you know, and then you take a nap, you watch some movies, you know. Malaverse, when the couple times I've been out the country, I always stayed like 2 weeks. And I've learned now to stay 1 week in one city and another week in another city. Because like me, I don't do much when I go out the country. I mainly just like walk around and find parks and Starbucks. You know what I mean? I don't do much. You know, I just like going places and walking around. So to stay two, I used to stay like when I went down to Mexico, I stayed 2 weeks in the same city, and that was kind of too long. So I'll go for like a couple weeks. Now I do want to start. If I go back to Thailand, when I go back, I might stay a little longer this time, just because I might do a little more this time. But it really will just be walking around even more places. I don't do much. Like I don't do all the touristy stuff and anything with a guide. I'm not doing. Like I just walk around the city. Like so, I might I definitely want to go back to Bangkok. Obviously, like I love Bangkok, it's a cool city. Um, Probably not Chiang Mai again. It was all right, but a couple other cities maybe. Delta, Delta. In my humble opinion, Delta's better. I've never flown United though, so I'm biased. I don't have any comparison. I just love Delta. So anyone asks me the best airline, I'm always say Delta. But take that with a grain of salt because I flew Spirit. No, I flew Frontier my first flight ever, and I was like, never again, unless I just have to. And then after that, I've always flown Delta or like Delta Partners if I was going out the country. Oh, you had the Tulum PI? Nice, nice. I hear a lot about Tulum. Nice. Renegade said it's easier to work remotely in the private sector. I can imagine, yeah, in government, it's a totally different ballgame. Carmel, you should go down to Mexico, man. I tell everybody go to Mexico, man. You can jump down to Mexico. You can jump down to Mexico for like a weekend. hang out. You know, everybody should go to Mexico. If you live in America, you should, yeah, go to Mexico. It's not actually not that expensive. The flight not that expensive, or you can drive. Yeah, and Delta, like Jesse says, yeah, sometimes Delta is cheaper, and it's always like very competitive. I've noticed that. There's been some times when it costs me a little more to fly Delta, but a lot of times Delta is pretty competitive, you know. But I love Delta, so a lot of times I'll spring for the extra. Um, but it's not. A lot of times it's like crazy more expensive. What's the bonus for flying on Delta? I just like it. You know what I mean? I'll equate it to, say you got a food brand you always buy. You know what I mean? Or you got a restaurant you always go to. You just really like that restaurant. You know what I mean? Or that's probably not a good example, because there's some things in life we just, say you bought a Chevy and it was a good Chevy, so now all you buy is Chevys. Never owned a Ford, never owned a Honda. You don't know, but you know Chevys are good. So you always buy Chevys. That's how I am with Delta. I know when I get on the Delta flight, it's going to be a good flight. I've never had like any issues with Delta. Like I'm always, I mean, there's been small things, but like, my luggage got to, and this wasn't even an issue. One time, they put my luggage on a quicker flight. That kind of annoyed me because I was like, I kind of want my luggage to be on the same flight with me. It got to my destination before me. And so, like, that never happened to me. So I was kind of like freaked out, but it was all good. Once I got to the airport, you go to the little luggage place and they're like, yeah, what's your bag? It's over there. I didn't like the fact it was like sitting out in the open, but nobody was running off with the bags. There was somebody watching them. But, little stuff like that. I've never really had like a huge issue. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep flying Delta because they keep giving me good flights. Always get to my destination. So I can't say there's any bonuses over other airlines because I've never flown any other major airlines. I just know Delta works. So I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And like I'm collecting Sky Miles. So I'm like, if I fly another airline, yeah, I could sign up for their rewards program, but I'd much rather fly Delta and get the Sky Miles because I've already got a ton anyway, a bunch anyway. So I might as well just keep adding to that. So that's kind of for me why I fly Delta. Oh, I'm always honest, central natural, simply natural black lab. I'm always gonna give you the honesty. Like, you know me. I don't it don't, because truth is the truth. Whew, $3,400 down to a wedding in Jamaica. Mm, mm. Yeah, Angela. The only time I ever had to, and yeah, have fun on your trip, September. The only time I dealt with Delta customer service was to like cancel a flight, and it was amazing. Yeah, like it was so simple, so easy to do. It was one of the first flights I ever canceled. Now I do it all the time. Um, because I know like if I cancel it, they'll just give me an e-credit. So like I'll book a flight, and then a couple weeks later, I'm like, I don't really want to go there. I just cancel it. Like I get to e-credit. Like I don't lose nothing, you know. But yeah, I've had good things with their customer service too. Hey, T-Town, congrats on that remote position. Nice. And on having your own business. Nice. Tiffany finally made the live. We here. We are here. Glad you can make one. That's a good one, Jess. A lot of the airlines probably got work from home customer service jobs. They're understaffed. Sean, that's a topic I don't talk about on the internet. It's too controversial. Like, Tori just doing gig jobs. Nice, nice. Rico, I haven't been checking my Instagram, so if you sent me a picture, I didn't get it. Yeah, I'm way behind. Yeah, Sean, just some topics I learned I don't. People get too worked up. I try to stay away from the super controversial topics, and I try to stay away from the topics that I know certain platforms have opinions on. You know, I'm definitely not one of those people that feels like I have to talk. If I know YouTube don't want me to talk about it, or they get kind of weird when you say certain stuff about it, I just avoid the whole topic. Like, it's okay. I talk about it in private with my friends. Hey, yeah, I mean that is the thing that like, and that's why I think is very important. That I think one of the things in the past it wasn't as big a deal where you lived, but I think these days where you live is huge. And yeah, there are some things that won't work for you in certain areas. And that's why I'm a big believer in like designing your life and like, and not saying this is you, but some people never really question where they live; they just live there. And I think that's a question we all should put a lot of time and energy into like figuring out like where do I actually want to live. Yeah, maybe my family lives here. I've always lived here, but like where do I want to live? And then like moving, you know what I mean? Like taking me and my roommate were talking about this the other night, like moving on and moving to different places, scary. Sometimes there's a lot of work involved, but it's really worth it. It's really worth it. Totally worth it. If you end up somewhere you like better, more opportunity, just speaks to you more, you like the vibe more, definitely worth it. Have I checked out the Amtrak station here in Denver, Rico? Yeah, I'll be there all the time. It's downtown. When I take the train downtown, it goes to Union Station. Yeah. And I've come and gone out of the Amtrak station here numerous times. So yeah, I'm very familiar with the Amtrak station in Denver. Yeah. I go in there and get coffee when I go downtown. Yeah. Lil Forrest said, Tim, be honest. I love when people tell me what to do in the beginning of the question. I'll read it anyway. Um, does lots of cash is something you hope to achieve despite if it makes you happy or not before you leave the human experience? No. No. Um, for what would I do with the money? Do I hope to stay comfortable and have a little extra money? Yeah, I think we all do. Do I want large amounts of cash? No. What am I gonna do with the money? If it happens, cool. But like, it's not something I'm really out here trying to become a millionaire. What would I do with the money? What am I gonna do with $1 million? I could donate more. So no. Speaking totally honest, I have no reason to lie. I'm not out here trying to become a millionaire, not like that. Like I said, if it ever happened, whatever. But like, if I came up with an ideal that made me millions, cool. But I honestly, the cool part would be the coming up with the ideal and the execution. The money's cool, but like, I just never had the desire to like be a millionaire. Like, it's just not. I just don't. I'm chilling. You mean I be chilling? Like, what am I do with the money? More money, more problems. They say it in all the songs. More money, more problems. I don't want more problems. Surely, I think the gig jobs, it depends on the location, so many other factors. You can't just blanketly say, I don't think that one's better than the other. And it depends on what you like. Somebody else might be, oh, I love DoorDash. And you might hate, you know what I mean? You might not, you know what I mean? So I think it just kind of depends on so many different factors. It's hard to say. Renegade, I think companies will definitely change as millennials and Gen Zers take over upper management. I think there'll definitely be some changes. I would hope they would improve, but I don't know. You know, I'm sure they'll have their issues. That generation will have its issues. You know, when they take over higher levels. I'm with you, Jesse. Yeah. Once like you good and you got the money to do the things you want to do, all you can buy beyond that is bigger, better, prettier, faster, handsomer, cuter, and then you know you turn devices. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. It's just not. If it's somebody else's dream, cool. If you want to be a billionaire, fine, go for it. Maybe that's in your DNA. It's just not mine. Like I just don't. What am I do with the money? You know, I don't know. Yeah, all right. You know, my goal is to need less money. You know what I mean? Have less stuff. If money comes, cool. But like, it's just I don't know. It's just not. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. Yeah, PI. I would definitely give the money away. If I've always said I own $1 million, I'd give half of it away like before I bought anything. But I'm like, I'm not gonna like strive and chase money to give it away. The money I make, I donate decent amount of. I donate monthly, regular basis. But like, I'm not gonna strive to be a millionaire just so I can and go through all that comes with that and all the problems that come with that just to give it away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like. It's not. Let somebody else get it and give it away. Like, I just don't. I just want to be comfortable, have a little extra to do a little fun stuff, my investing, that type of stuff. Beyond that, I'm chilling. I promise you, MH, I won't need at least $1 million when I'm 70. I promise you, I won't. And all them articles that tell you that scare people, if you haven't saved up this much by this age, you're gonna be in trouble. Okay. Now, like we say stuff like that. You need $70. You need $1 million by the time you're 70. How many 70-year-olds now got $1 million? 1%, and they're surviving and doing whatever. That's what's you can't scare me about the future like that, bro. Like if I'm 70 and living in a cardboard box, okay, like I don't know. I just don't. I just take it like it comes, man. I do what I do. Try to make wise decisions, and whatever comes, man. Like I might get hit by a bus at 50. You know what I mean? Or I might live to be 90. Down at the soup kitchen. I don't. Hey Dodo, thank you, Super Chat Squad. Thank you so much, Dodo. Thank you. So do you think people are getting more hard lined and interacting with each other? I think so. I definitely think Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that love. Thank you. I definitely think that we're a lot more polarized these days. We're going through one of those time periods. It just happens in history. You go through cycles where people are very polarized, and it kind of dissipates. We're going through one of those I'm right, you're wrong, us versus them. And we're gonna see it in 2023. I'm never doom and gloom, but I really, when the elections come back around, I think we go. I think we go. I think at least in the USA, I think when the elections come back around, we're gonna see a lot of these hard lines set up. A lot of this us versus them coming back, but we'll get through it. Yeah, you never know what the future holds. The universe is abundant, and I'm not afraid for my future. Enjoy the good times, endure the bad times, and there's actually no good or bad. So you just enjoy it when you can, endure it when you can't. Like it's. I don't really get all worked up. Dodo, I don't get scared sharing opinions with friends because all my friends are open minded. So even if we don't agree on something, we can talk about it, or just some things we don't talk about. So yeah, everybody knows Tim's gonna say what Tim's like in real life. Tim's gonna say what Tim's thinking. Like people who can't handle that usually don't hang around with me much. So yeah, all my friends are open minded and like closed mindedness. I can't deal with. No, me and all my friends, we can have discussions or some stuff we might be like, we're just not gonna talk about it. One of my best friends, he's beyond a friend. Like that's my boy Ray Ray. You know, we totally disagree on certain topics, and we just don't talk about it. It might come up, and one of us might get too close to that line, and we're like, "Yeah, we just not gonna talk about it." I'm like, "Can we just not talk about this?" And he'd be like, "All right," or vice versa. He'd be like, "Man," I'll be like, "All right, I won't talk about it." So it's like, I voice my opinions, and if it like seems like maybe it's not something we were going to continue talking about, but like people gonna know my opinion, just like I know my friends' opinions, just sometimes. But most of my friends are crazy open minded, like you know. Renegade, that definitely is age discrimination because you can't say at a certain point your mind doesn't work the way it used to. You can say that, but you couldn't pick a definitive age because there's some people who are 80 who are their brains are like this. There's some people who are 40, their brains are mush. So like that is age discrimination to be like, all right, you hit 70, you can't work no more. Like that's not to mention you could just get a job where like you don't need to use your brain. You know? Case by case basis. Anyone who can't do the job, you have to be like, eh. But yeah, we couldn't base it on age because like that's not fair. YSBH, sorry to hear about your dad. Sorry to hear about your dad. But it's I'm glad that you took that painful situation and learned from it. Very painful situation, learn from it. Um, yeah, like it's nothing's promised. Nothing's promised to none of us, any age. Making it to 74 is awesome. In the grand scheme, that's a good life. A lot of us won't make it that far. So like, yeah, just if you got stuff you want to do it. Because you could slip up and be up out of here tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, so do it. It's funny. We know from the time we're old enough to like understand about life, we know we're going to die, but yet and still we live like we're immortal. You think it'd be the opposite. You think as soon as we learned, oh, I'm gonna die one day and I don't know when that is, that we all would just like live our lives to the fullest, just like, hey, bro, we wouldn't even worry about the future. The future ain't even promised. I might not even be here. You would think we would just all be out here just doing whatever our whole life. because we know that it ends and none of it's going to matter anyway. But instead, it's like the opposite. Like, we all know we're going to die and we're scared of dying. So we like don't do anything. You know, it's weird. When you think about it that way, it's super weird. Ladies and gentlemen, give me 2 seconds. Had to take a little break. Apologize. We back. We back. Lance Long, how do you avoid getting defined by your job? I would say by making it a point to do things you enjoy doing for you outside of work, you know? If you know, I think a lot of times our lives, our work revolves around work. So I think it falls on each of us to try to get your life back. Work is a part of life. It's not your life. So the only way to like get your life back is outside of work. Live more. You know, I think a lot of times we just don't live enough. We just go to work, we come home, watch a little TV, whatever. Go to work. Like, work is the main thing, and then the rest of the stuff revolves around work. I think you have to, in your off work time, do so much that it's like it's almost like work is revolving around your life. Then you're not defined by your job, because you're defined by like, oh, this is what I do over here, and also by not like giving into the societal beliefs that certain jobs are better and all this other stuff. Yeah. DRZ, thank you. Do I think there'll be a point where we stop defining ourselves by work? I don't know. I would like to think there would be, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that, renegade, because like, what if somebody wants to work? You know what I mean? So what if somebody wants to work past 70? Is that something wrong? You know, we I think we like to come up with like these nice, perfect scenarios. This is how it has to be. This is what, you know what I mean? What if something came up and like certain things happen and so someone's working past 70? You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you can't say, oh, if you work past 70, something's wrong. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not reality. Stuff happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, if you don't want to work past 70, cool. But like, you can't, I mean, you can if you want to. I personally wouldn't like blanketly judge and say if he was working past 70 is a problem. Like, people doing what they do. People got their reasons. 70s young these days. People living to be 90, 100. Crypto Johnny, I think if people want to share how much money they make, they can. I think it's low budget to ask. I'll be honest. Part of that's environment, the way I was raised. We didn't talk money. I think it's low budget to ask people how much. I never ask people how much they make. Never. That's kind of low budget to me. How much you make? Can I ask how much you? Nah, that's, you know what I mean. But like, if people want to talk about, cool. If people want to tell me, cool. But I never ask. And I never tell. 2 people, because they were people who made more money than me and told me, and they're really good friends. I only really talk money with like 2 people on the planet because they talked it with me. Other than that, like I don't talk money, like actual numbers. Like I don't ask other people. I don't ask. Never ask anybody how much money you make. Like this, I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, if people want to talk about it, cool. I just think it's weird. Yeah, I mean, if work colleagues want to talk about it, cool. I don't. I definitely don't talk about it at work because then people get all, you know. Sometimes they get upset. Sometimes you get upset. You like, you making how much? Like it never leads to nothing positive. Like if people, in my experience, if people want to talk about it, cool, and that should be your right. Like we were saying earlier, companies shouldn't be able to tell you can't disclose your salary if you want to. But from what I've seen, it always leads to like issues because somebody's not making as much as somebody, and they get all, you know. If people want to talk about it, cool. I don't talk about it. You know, like I said, if people want to talk about it, cool. So nurses talk about pay, cool. I'm all about it. This is your life, is your money. Talk about it. I'm not going to ask you about your money, and I'm not going to tell you about my money. And I really don't care about your money. Like I unless we have that type of bond, and it's very rare. Like I just don't. You know what I mean? I just if the issues, too many issues come up. You may not even know it. You talk about money, and like all of a sudden, someone who's cool with you, they're hating on you now. You don't even know it. Nah. Now, if you're coming together and trying to understand, or you make this, I should be making this, blah blah blah. Cool, I get that too. But like, I do that with my friends. But just in general, nah, nah, nah. But that's just me, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm different, you know. Like I'll admit some of my views are like I said, it's that's the way I was raised. You don't talk money, so I'm just like, nah. I think I feel some type of way about it too because I get asked more than the average person about money. So I think with me, it kind of gets aggravating. Can I ask how much money you make? No. Other people are open books about that. They're lying half the time, but other people open books about that. I just like, nah, I ain't doing it. You know, I got good friends who got businesses, and we never discuss actual numbers. And I love that. I know they're making good money. They're doing very well. Never discuss actual numbers. I know they're good. You know what I mean? We don't need the actual numbers. That's your business. You know, that's just me. Money, religion, and sports are a no. It's a no. I see. The beauty with me is nobody I know likes the sport I like. You know, nobody watches WNBA basketball but me in my circle, so I can talk sports because nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody knows. You know what I mean? No. I don't know anyone who doesn't like the team I like. There's no. You know, I never have a sports argument. Nobody watches the WNBA. Speaking of which, today's a big day for games. But yeah. So I get away with kind of, you know, I can talk sports. Nobody knows. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank y'all for tuning in. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think is probably a good time for this one. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate the super chat squad. Big shout out to the super chat squad. Appreciate everybody coming through. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, rest of your weekend, and a wonderful week. I love each and every one of y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.